From 21st to 25th July 2025, the Association of African Universities, in partnership with Mohammed VI Polytechnic University and supported by Mohammed V University, will host the 16th Quadrennial General Conference in the historic city of Rabat, Morocco. This 5-day gathering will bring together diverse higher education stakeholders, including heads of state, ministers of state, the higher education community, policymakers, researchers, industry and development partners to co-create innovative solutions and forge partnerships that will revolutionize Africa's higher education landscape. Under the overarching theme, Shaping the Future of Higher Education for Innovation and Sustainable Development of Africa, the conference will focus on 9 sub-themes, including policy and governance, AI and technology-driven learning, curricular re-engineering, climate action, entrepreneurship, infrastructure funding, and the Sustainable Development Goals. The 16th Quadrennial General Conference promises to be a dynamic and engaging event, providing a platform for collaboration, networking, and the formation of impactful alliances. It will feature paper presentations and scientific sessions for academic exchanges, as well as exhibitions and plenary sessions for engagement of industry and development partners. Individuals or institutions interested in exhibiting, sponsoring the event, or securing paid speaking opportunities are encouraged to contact us or visit the website on the screen. Join us this July as we unite in purpose, break new ground, and shape the continent's future together. AAU, the voice of higher education in Africa. To register for this event, visit the website on the screen.
Hello Africa, it's 12 o'clock GMT and this is the AAU TV Mid-Week news coming to you live from the headquarters of the Association of African Universities. And to our headlines for today. In higher education, JAMB prosecutes 5 over massive admission letter forgery scheme. And Discovery, Scotland's underwater turbine set new record in clean energy push. In entertainment, Burna Boy rocks global stage with new album and world tour plans. An international new flash flood threatens Central Texas as rivers rise again. Please stay with us for more news on the AAU TV Mid-Week News. My name is Jemima, Deladem, Dotsey. Welcome back from the break and to our news in detail. Nigeria's Joint Admission and Matriculation Board, JAMB, has announced the prosecution of 5 suspects accused of forging over 17,000 tertiary institution admission letters. JAMB says investigation revealed 17,417 candidates were linked to the fraudulent scheme, with more than 5,600 confirmed to have deliberately procured fake documents. The arrest followed a joint operation with the Police Cybercrime Center. JAMB warns that candidates engaging in admission fraud will face legal consequences, stressing that any admission outside its CAP system are illegal and won't be regularized.
Nigeria's education system has been rocked by a massive admission scandal, with thousands of aspiring students falling victim to a fraudulent scheme. The Joint Admissions and Matriculation Board, or JAMB, has announced the prosecution of 5 suspects who allegedly forged over 17,417 tertiary institution admission letters. The widespread fraud came to light following a detailed investigation and collaboration with the Nigeria Police Force National Cyber Crime Center. According to Fabian Benjamin, JAMB spokesperson, the suspects confessed to the crime and have been apprehended, currently facing prosecution at the Federal High Court in Abuja. Over 17,000 students were identified as beneficiaries of this fraudulent admission scheme. Out of that number, 6,903 candidates were cleared by the board after being directed to rectify minor discrepancies between 2024 and May 2025. A larger number faced serious scrutiny. A concerning 10,514 candidates were subsequently referred to designated police investigation officers, with a significant portion of them confirmed to have deliberately procured these forged documents. Specifically, 5,669 candidates were found to have knowingly used these illicit admission letters, underscoring a disturbing level of complicity in the fraud. This ongoing legal battle is a critical step towards restoring integrity and public trust in Nigeria's higher education admission process.
In Kenya, thousands of fresh graduates are struggling to find jobs despite years of study and sacrifice. From stories of sudden poverty and mental health struggles to small business success, the journey from university to employment remains uncertain for many young Kenyans. Experts warn that lacking soft skills, financial stress, and limited job opportunities are pushing some into depression and desperation. While government initiatives exist, uptake remains low, leaving graduates to navigate a challenging economy where survival takes more than just a degree.
In Kenya, the promise of higher education as the gateway to a prosperous future is increasingly a distant dream for man. Each year, thousands emerge from universities and colleges armed with degrees and aspirations, only to be met by stark reality, a job market that simply is not expanding fast enough to absorb them. The Commission for University Education reveals a staggering statistic: approximately 60,000 students enrolled in the Kenya Tertiary Institution for the 2023-2024 academic year, with around 50,000 new graduates entering the working space annually. The grim truth is further illuminated by a 2023 report from the Kenya National Bureau of Statistics. It shows that youth aged 20 to 29 bear the impact of the nation's unemployment crisis, accounting for the highest share of jobless Kenyans, a staggering 1.6 million individuals. A substantial portion of this group involves recent graduates, many of whom are caught in this disheartening cycle, endlessly submitting applications, often engaging in unpaid internships, or resort to casual labor that barely sustains them. Recognizing the severity of the situation, the Ministry of Education has initiated several graduate internship and youth empowerment programs, such as the Public Service Internship Program and the Ajira Digital Platform, specifically designed to bridge this gap of unemployment. However, despite these commendable efforts, the uptake of these programs remain disappointingly low. Many graduates are either not aware of these opportunities or lack the necessary information to access them. Young Kenyans still search for their place in the economy and raising urgent questions about the future prosperity and social stability of the nation.
In health, a major new study has found that people exposed to higher levels of air pollution may be more likely to develop meningiomas, the most common type of primary brain tumor, which, while usually not cancerous, can still cause serious health problems. Researchers in Denmark tracked nearly 4 million adults over 21 years and found greater risk linked to ultrafine particles from traffic and industrial emissions. Scientists stress the findings don't prove direct causation, but add to growing evidence that polluted air can impact not just lungs and heart, but the brain as well.
A recent study has uncovered a concerning link between prolonged exposure to air pollution and an increased risk of developing a specific type of brain tumor. This is not about cancerous growth in the traditional sense, but rather meningiomas tumors that, while typically beginning, can pose a significant health challenge by pressing on vital brain tissue, nerves, or blood vessels, leading to a range of symptoms. Meningiomas are the most common type of primary brain tumor, originating in the protective membranes that envelope the brain and the spinal cord. They are notoriously slow-growing, often taking years to become noticeable, which makes tracing their origin complex. Their mere presence can lead to a serious health complication, from seizures and headaches to vision problems and cognitive impairment, depending on the size and the location. This new research adds a critical piece to the puzzle of environmental factors influencing neurological health. The study, which followed nearly 4 million adults in Denmark over a 21-year period, provides compelling evidence. Of the 16,600 individuals who developed central nervous system tumors, approximately 4,600 were diagnosed with meningioma. This allows researchers to draw a significant correlation between higher long-term exposure to air pollution and the increased incidence of these brain tumors. The findings underscore the urgent need for stricter air quality regulations and greater public awareness regarding the invisible threat lurking in the air we breathe.
Please stick with us for news in Discovery. We'll be right back.
From 21st to 25th July 2025, the Association of African Universities, in partnership with Mohammed VI Polytechnic University and supported by Mohammed V University, will host the 16th Quadrennial General Conference in the historic city of Rabat, Morocco. This 5-day gathering will bring together diverse higher education stakeholders, including heads of state, ministers of state, the higher education community, policymakers, researchers, industry, and development partners to co-create innovative solutions and forge partnerships that will revolutionize Africa's higher education landscape. Under the overarching theme, Shaping the Future of Higher Education for Innovation and Sustainable Development of Africa, the conference will focus on 9 sub-themes, including policy and governance, AI and technology-driven learning, curricular re-engineering, climate action, entrepreneurship, infrastructure funding, and the Sustainable Development Goals. The 16th Quadrennial General Conference promises to be a dynamic and engaging event, providing a platform for collaboration, networking, and the formation of impactful alliances. It will feature paper presentations and scientific sessions for academic exchanges, as well as exhibitions and plenary sessions for engagement of industry and development partners. Individuals or institutions interested in exhibiting, sponsoring the event, or securing paid speaking opportunities are encouraged to contact us or visit the website on the screen. Join us this July as we unite in purpose, break new ground, and shape the continent's future together. AAU, the voice of higher education in Africa. To register for this event, visit the website on the screen.
Welcome back from the break and to our Discovery story. In a powerful display of innovation and endurance, a tidal turbine submerged off the coast of Scotland has been generating clean electricity for over 6 years without the need for major maintenance. Operated by Say Renewables at the Machen site, the turbine's performance is now setting a global benchmark in marine energy. This milestone not only showcases the durability of underwater turbine technology, but also signals a major leap towards reliable, long-term tidal energy. With global interest in a clean, renewable resources growing and the success of the Scottish project It is sparking investment confidence and paving way for larger ocean energy installation in the near future.
Submerged nearly 40 meters beneath Scotland's rugged coastline, a massive tidal turbine has been spinning non-stop for more than 6 years, harnessing the ocean's relentless tides to generate electricity, a feat experts call a landmark for renewable energy. Engineers say keeping a great-scale turbine operating so long in the punishing marine environment is proof that tidal power is not just a dream, but a commercially viable reality. Ocean Energy Europe CEO Remy Guet described the achievement as a very significant milestone for the industry's future. At the heart of the record-breaking performance is the major tidal energy project in the inner sound of Scotland's Petland Firth. The site's 4 turbines, each producing 1.5 megawatts, generate enough electricity to power up to 7,000 homes every year. Parts of the turbines were manufactured by Swedish company SKF, which announced that bearings and seals on one turbine has surpassed 6.5 years without any unplanned maintenance. Andre Kopin, a marine renewable energy expert at the University of Washington, noted that many skeptics, including investors and governments, doubted turbines could survive so long underwater, but she said the Scottish team has checked the boxes and proven it can be done. Despite hurdles such as regulatory issues and grid upgrades, Maygen is planning to expand to 20 turbines by 2030, with hopes of eventually installing as many as 130. Fraser Johnson, operations manager at Maygen, explained that it is very hard to take what is essentially a wind turbine normally found on land and put it underwater. Yet, their success is helping push the industry forward, aiming for a future where clean energy flows with the tides.
In sport, Tottenham Hotspur is shaking up the summer transfer market with a double soup worth over 100 million euros. The North London club has signed Mohamed Kudus from West Ham for 55 million euros, making him the first player to move between the two rivals in over a decade. Meanwhile, Spurs have triggered a 60 million euros release clause to bring the Nottingham Forest star Morgan Gibbs-White, with a deal expected to be finalized soon. These moves signal the beginning of a new era under manager Thomas Frank, who took over after Ange Postecoglou's Europa League triumph, which, with Champions League football secured, Tottenham is making clear its plans to compete at the highest level, both domestically and in Europe.
Tottenham Hotspur is making major waves in the transfer market, announcing the high-profile signing of Ghanaian international Mohamed Kudus from West Ham for £55 million, the first transfer between the two London clubs since 2011. But the spending spree doesn't stop there. Spurs have also triggered a £60 million buyout clause for Nottingham Forest Morgan Gibbs-White, pushing the combined deal value beyond £100 million, or roughly $136 million. The double swoop signals an ambitious new chapter under Thomas Frank, who stepped into the manager's role last month following Ange Postecoglou's departure. Postecoglou leaves a strong legacy, having guided Spurs to a Europa League title and ending a 17-year trophy drought with a victory over Manchester United in the final in Bilbao, a triumph that secured Champions League football for the North London side. Kudus, speaking through the club's website, expresses excitement about joining Tottenham, highlighting the club's stature, history, and the allure of Champions League football as key factors in his decision. He also pointed to Frank's reputation for developing talent at Brentford as a big influence in making the move. Since arriving at West Ham from Ajax for £38 million 2 years ago, Kudus has scored 19 goals in 80 appearances, showcasing his attacking flair. Meanwhile, Gibbs-White, who tallied 7 goals and 10 assists last season for Forest and earned senior England call-ups, was previously linked with Manchester City. His departure marks the second major exit for Forest this week, following Anthony Elanga's imminent move to Newcastle.
In entertainment, Nigerian superstar Burna Boy is back with a brand new album, No Sign of Weakness, released last Friday. The Grammy-winning Afrobeat artist reflects on his journey from childhood dreams to global stardom, collaborating on his latest project with music legends like Mike Jagger, Shaboozey, and Travis Scott. As Africa's music industry booms, Burna Boy hopes to keep pushing Afrobeats forward while calling for unity among African artists. He's also gearing up for a world tour later this year, determined to keep the stage his ultimate happy place.
Fresh off his Grammy nominations, Burna Boy is back with a brand new album which dropped last week Friday, July 11th. Titled No Sign of Weakness, he calls it a celebration of resilience after years of highs and lows. He says everyone involved in the project can proudly call themselves rock stars. This new release comes packed with heavyweight collaborations featuring legendary Rolling Stone frontman Mick Jagger, country star Shaboozey, and hip-hop icon Travis Scott, a true showcase of Afrobeats colliding with global genres. African music has exploded in popularity worldwide, with regions like Sub-Saharan Africa posting the fastest growth in music revenues last year. Artists like Burna Boy, Davido, and Wizkid are leading that charge, alongside rising stars like Tyler from South Africa. But Burna Boy admits the journey hasn't been smooth, urging African artists to turn diversity into unity and build stronger organization within the industry. As he sets off on world tour, with North American days starting in November, Burna Boy is focused on one thing: performing. He says performing gives him unmatched joy, confessing with a grin that when his time comes, he hopes to keep singing on the stage in heaven. Burna Boy's star keeps rising, and he's determined to take Afrobeats even higher.
Explore a whole new world of exciting visuals with AAU TV. Get ready for a mix of interesting talk shows, interviews, discovery documentaries, and news on AAU TV. It's not just about watching TV, it's about experiencing something special. AAU TV reaches over 25 countries in Africa, bringing you a blend of knowledge and fun. Learn about different cultures as you enjoy the shows. If you have events or want to showcase your business, we've got you covered. Watch AAU TV free-to-air channel on satellite. Connect with us on Facebook, Instagram, and X, formerly known as Twitter, at AAU TV. Reach out on call or WhatsApp us at +233 26 629 6601 or +233 20 399 5210. AAU TV, the voice of higher education in Africa.
The United Bank for Africa Group has reaffirmed its aggressive Pan-African expansion strategy following its half-year business review in Lagos, Nigeria. With over half its revenue now generated outside Nigeria, UBA is scaling operations across Africa and beyond. Plans include new markets in Saudi Arabia, a license upgrade in France, and a continued presence in major financial hubs like New York and London. Group CEO Oliver Alauba says UBA is committed to connecting Africa to the world and delivering world-class banking services to millions of customers across the continent.
The United Bank for African Group is forging ahead with its ambitious Pan-African growth strategy following the conclusion of its half-year business revenue at its global headquarters in Lagos, Nigeria. Group Managing Director and CEO Oliver Alauba brought together executives from UBA's 24 countries of operation, underscoring the bank's commitment to expanding into high-potential new markets while strengthening its presence in 20 existing African countries. More than 51% of UBA's revenue now comes from operations outside Nigeria, a sign of the bank's revolution into Africa's most diversified financial service group. Alauba described vast opportunities in new markets, calling this growth a testament to UBA's confidence in the African economy and its mission to deliver top-tier banking experiences tailored to the continent's changing needs. He emphasized that UBA's vision is to build a truly global institution anchored in Africa but serving customers worldwide. Beyond Africa, UBA operates in the United Kingdom, the United States, France, and the United Arab Emirates. The bank is upgrading its licenses in France and plans to launch operation in Saudi Arabia, expanding its service for cross-border trade and African diaspora. With over 45 million customers and a workforce of 25,000, UBA continues to leverage technology and innovation to connect Africa to the world and the world back to Africa.
Central Texas faces new flash flood threat just over a week after deadly floods claimed more than 100 lives and left scores missing. Slow-moving thunderstorms have drenched areas like San Saba and Kerr counties, forcing evacuation and triggering dangerous river surges. Roads have flooded, cars have stayed, and water levels have risen rapidly in multiple rivers, with the San Saba River forecasted to crest at major flood stage. Emergency crews have resumed search operations, whilst officials warn residents to avoid travel unless absolutely necessary. More storms are expected, keeping rivers dangerously high and communities bracing for further impact.
Just over a week after deadly flash floods devastated Central Texas, parts of the region are under threat again as slow-moving thunderstorms dumped heavy rain on Sunday. Though the heaviest rain fell early Sunday, forecasters warned that storms could continue into Monday, keeping rivers swollen well into next week. A flash flood emergency was declared in southeastern San Saba County, where 6 to 8 inches of rain fell in only 6 hours, swamping roads and threatening homes. Flooding in Sutton County left cars stranded on Interstate 10, while water crept dangerously close to neighborhoods. Governor Greg Abbott announced that state crews carried out water rescues in San Saba, Lampasas, and Shilaika counties. Some parts of San Saba County were placed under mandatory evacuation orders, with the San Saba Civic Center open for evacuees. County Judge Dodi Foley reported water levels reaching at least 30.5 feet and rising quickly. The National Weather Service forecasted that the San Saba River could crest in the major flood category, topping 31 feet. Further south, Kerr County remains under a flood watch as storms drift south. The National Weather Service in San Antonio extended the watch, emphasizing they couldn't risk gambling with ongoing flood operations across the region's river basins. Officials temporarily suspended ground searches in Kerrville due to flood dangers, but operations have since resumed. Meanwhile, wireless emergency alerts blasted residents' phones, warning that the situation is dangerous and life-threatening, urging people not to travel unless fleeing flood zones or under evacuation orders. Authorities stress that fast-rising rivers like the Guadalupe should be avoided whenever possible.
That is all for the AAU TV Midweek News. We will take a quick look at our top stories. In higher education, JAMB prosecutes 5 over massive admission letter forgery scheme. In Discovery, Scotland's underwater turbine set new record in clean energy push. In entertainment, Burna Boy rocks global stage with new album and world tour planned. An international new flash flood threat in Central Texas as rivers rise again. Now, thank you for sticking with us on the AAU TV Midweek News. You can also follow us on our social media handles, Association of African Universities, on Facebook and YouTube, and on our dedicated news hub, tv.aau.org. My name is Jemima. Deladem. Have a nice day.